What's up, guys? Ooh, I'm feeling like it's hard to keep my eyes open. But that's okay. They seem to be open. It is Saturday, right? Yeah, it's Saturday. Let's see if anyone comes on. Hello. Hi, Jason. What's up? Hi, Andres. How are you guys? Where are you guys? What did we all say before we said guys? Who invented that? Hi, Raul. Hi, Valid. Hello. I'm feeling like, no, I'm not shaking. Am I? I'm feeling a little shaky. And I don't really know why. It's been like that the past few days. I don't know if I'm like drinking too much caffeine or I'm trying really hard to like undo a lot of tension I've been carrying in my shoulders and neck specifically. And I think that's like having repercussions in the rest of my body. Because it has to go somewhere. It has to like travel. It has to like get released. So my head's a little bit like... I also lately have been drinking... I don't know why I started this. I am now a Diet Coke girly. I drink Diet Coke. I have never had soft drinks in my life. And then I don't even know what started it. No, you know what started it? Iced tea over the summer. And I don't like just wanting beverages, just wanting things that weren't coffee. What started it was... Hello. That's so nice, Hellisher. That's so nice. Thanks. What started it was I was at the grocery store and I was like, look at this shelf of beverages. All these things I haven't tried. And they had like this drink called Zevia, which is sugar-free soda. And I thought cola, I haven't had cola in a really long time, and so I tried it and it was amazing. And it's made from stevia. And it's 0 cal, and it's like, oh, this is something else that I could have that isn't coffee. And then from there, you know, moves on to Diet Coke. And then you're having 1 Diet Coke a day. And it's the mini cans, but you're like, oh, this is now part of my routine. This is part of my life now. I don't know how to give it up. I could give it up if I wanted. Hi, Ignat. Hi, Amuldas? Amuldas? Hi, Mossy. Fat. I'm sorry, I'm not fat. Like, not fat. Hi. You like, yeah. And I used to be so afraid of Diet Coke. I actually had to watch a full, you know, like that, who's the doctor? You know, like the hot doctor on YouTube? He's not that hot. He's just like he's okay looking. What's his name? He had this like, there was this podcast interview about, is Diet Coke bad for you? And I always thought it was. Like, it screws with your gut microbiome. And like so many things, it's just like, there's inconclusive evidence and you have to look at like the full picture of, is Diet Coke gonna ruin your life? Probably not. Are there healthier choices? Probably, but you have to look at the whole. So anyway, like so many things I've just been afraid of that it's like, let yourself have the Diet Coke. You're Jenny from Blackpink. Cool. Dr. Mike. Dr. Mike. That's who it is. Dr. Mike. Wait. like, I just really appreciate him because he talks about nuance and he talks about actually like using your brain as opposed to just being afraid of things because someone told you to be afraid of them. Okay, I'm gonna ignore. How you deal with haters. Yeah, let's talk about that. First of all, like, I get that there might be some people on here like just spamming the comments, and I mean, it's like, it's not my fault. So I'm not gonna like apologize, but I hope you guys can just like bear with me. I don't have a system set in place right now to deal with them, and like, we're just gonna ignore them. It's fine. We're gonna ignore them. Who am I? I'm Janessa, and this is my channel, and I like to talk about self-development and self-concept and like believing in yourself and making your dreams come true. Thank you. Thank you, Daniel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. It's a little bit chillier, but it's very bright and sunny out. And the leaves have turned to that like rust color. Thank you. Drama channels. I don't know what that means. Like channels that just talk about drama. I'm definitely not that. Wow, that's so kind, Violet. Really? If that's true, that means everything to me. Mike Hansen. Thank you, Vishwajit. Hi, Martin. Hi. Where am I from? I'm from Canada, and I am speaking to you from Montreal. Alaska. Cool. What's it like there right now? It's still hot where you are? Where are you? Jack, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Ha ha ha. George, that's so funny. Actually, I'm afraid of that word. About. I'm afraid of the word about because people are gonna. And I'm afraid of the word roof. Do people in America say rough? What is it? Oklahoma. It's hot there? I've been to Oklahoma. You have snow. Oh, I really want to go to Alaska someday. Or I want to go like to the Northwest Territories or like Nunavut or somewhere up there. That's so valid. Okay, you're my favorite person. You're my favorite person today. And forever. I should go. Okay, I'm booking my flight. Philippines. Hi, eccentric hat. Tell me about your name. That's the stupidest comment I've ever read. Hi, Ashi. Hi. Sorry. Like, come on, at least try. Canada's great, by the way. I mean, it's probably not the greatest country in the world. I don't know what is, but it's really nice. Thank you. Okay, do you guys have any questions before I get into it? I'm just gonna talk. The way this usually goes is I just talk. I kind of say what's on my mind, or I've like picked a topic. And usually I've been like, usually I pick a topic and the morning of I go, oh no, I have to talk about this. And my whole morning while I'm like going through my routine is consumed by like, what am I going to talk about? And then I come on here and sometimes I get to what I came up with and sometimes I don't, and it's just okay. And then, yeah, if people have questions, I answer them. Okay, crazy art. Have a wonderful day. How am I feeling? Have I ever been to Mexico? I have. How am I feeling? Like, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like there's a bit of a fire under my butt, which I think has been missing. So overall, I'm feeling really good. I've been listening a lot to I've been listening a lot to oh, what is it? Well, like the Dead Poets Department, I guess. And when it first came out, I was not a fan. And I don't know, it's grown on me. People said it would grow on you. I'm a fan. Like that bridge in The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. That bridge, I just want to listen to that bridge over and over and over and over and over. And I had to put it on this morning because I woke up with that bridge going on in my head. What is that? It's like the only way to satisfy it is to listen to it. Is it even that cold there? Yeah, it gets cold here. Okay. So that's a decent segue into what I want to talk about today. You might not think that's a decent segue, but it links up in my mind, trust me, talking about Dead Poets Department. Is that even the name of the album? Yes. Is it? Shut up. Guilty of Sin. Okay, I've been like really into, well, whatever. I haven't gotten there. Okay, I'll listen more to that one. Yeah, I've been to Mexico. But I've been like just beyond the border, and I've been to Cancun. Namaste. The Tortured Dead Poets. I'm like mixing up the movie. Tortured. Thank you. Tortured. Great. I think like the reason I didn't like it when it first came out is because it's so, like, pay attention to what triggers you guys. And trigger, I mean, like, you're gonna define what a trigger is for you. I find Taylor Swift at times very triggering for my own reasons, because I guess I look at her, or I look at other songwriters who are just like putting all of their pain into these songs, like all of their like failed relationships, like that's how I looked at it, and then like getting celebrated for it, getting like praised for it, getting like careers out of it, and it was like, I'm not allowed to do that. Like, how come they're allowed to do that and I'm not? And I guess like what I'm kind of uncovering is I have this very messy relationship with, it's like I think I'm accountable for everything that's ever like transpired in my life, and that I shouldn't be like airing my like dirty laundry and my failures or whatever to the public, and I should be like aspiring to like be more inspirational and only like sing happy songs or things like that. I should only allow in like the good emotions or the good feelings or the good vibes, you know, and I should be that all the time, and I'm not allowed to have like messy, unfavorable emotions. And yeah, that's it's not a way to live, it's not a life. And you have a range of emotions for a reason, and you should use them, and you should allow them, and you shouldn't like hurt others or hurt yourself. But that's a completely different discussion, and I might do like a whole episode on emotions in general, and like suppressing emotions versus like allowing and releasing and just like letting them be there. But it's not really what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about believing in yourself, and the fact that you already do. It's just that the things that you believe about yourself might not be helpful, might not actually be in the direction that you want to go to, but like you do believe, like you have faith in yourself. There's no such thing as a lack of faith. It's just like a lack, you have like strong faith in things that you don't, that aren't helpful, or like you don't want to be there. That's the only difference. So you have strong faith in yourself to like the life that you live right now. You have faith that you're capable of living this life. Like you have strong faith that you get up at this time, or like you go to this job, or like whatever your consistent results are, they're consistent for the fact that like you believe that you can deliver those results, whatever they may be. And you might think like they're unsatisfactory, but like you're delivering that every time. You are consistently showing up as yourself every single time, and you have faith that you can do that. You believe in yourself to that capacity. And all the things that you can't do, or that like you're frustrated with yourself about, you also believe that about yourself. Like you believe strongly that like you mess these things up, or you have like, you fail in these ways in these relationships, or you can't do this, or you like, you have belief in yourself to to deliver like unfavorable and favorable results. You really do. You really do believe in yourself. But the question is like, why do you continue to believe things that aren't in your favor, or that seemingly don't look to be in your favor? And one thing that like I frustrates me, but more and more I understand its importance, is to like really come at this like work of understanding yourself, and like, and being good to yourself, and developing yourself, and growing as a self, is coming at it with a sense of compassion, and a sense of like everything you're doing, as much as it might seem like it is counterproductive or self-destructive, there's another part of you that does not see it that way, that sees that the actions you are taking are really, really in your best interest. And so you are always actually operating in your best interest, as far as like your subconscious understands. It's like, these are the best actions to take. This is the best thing to believe. These are the best thoughts to have. These are the best feelings to hold. Like that's what it understands. It's like, she's alive right now, so we're winning. We just got to keep her alive. Really, that's what your subconscious like cares the most about. It doesn't care so much about like whether you win like a Grammy or something like that. It does, because that's not like, that's just like a thing that humans assign value to. But your subconscious is like, but are we alive? Is it safe? Does it feel good and comfy? That's what we care about. So if you can get around that, the reason I say this is if you can really get that, like you realize that there's no battle going on necessarily, like you're on your own side. Everything is actually like with you. It's just that there's like differing opinions about what is best for you. But everyone wants the same end goal, basically. Like, you want to survive, you do. You want to survive, but like this, but your like conscious brain kind of takes it for granted that you're alive, and is like, no, what matters is status, or no, what matters is money, and no, what matters is like what my friends are doing, or what my spouse expects from me, or what my kids need from me, or like all of these things. And that's valid too, but you have to like find a meeting ground. And so it's really good to acknowledge the subconscious fears that are saying like, if we don't do this, we die. Because then you can work with it. You can't work with something that you're not acknowledging, that you're not even aware of. You can't, it's just habitual, and it's just gonna like kick in, and you're not even gonna know it's there. You're not even gonna know you're doing it. And if you do become aware of it, like I think something that kind of stalled me for a long time was like, you do become aware of it and you shame yourself for it. So you do become aware like, oh, I guess I'm afraid of this. And you're like, how dare you be afraid of this? You shouldn't be afraid of this. And if you think of, like you've been alive in the world, if you think of like what it's like to receive that kind of messaging from a parent or from a friend or from like anyone who's just like, oh, that thing that you're scared of or that thing that you're experiencing, yeah, you shouldn't be. just don't. Just stop it. Has that ever actually helped you? I mean, like, maybe it has, but I'd say it's like really bad parenting, really bad friending, really bad, just like really bad communication skills. It's not going to get you where you need to go. And the reason that you keep doing it is because you keep thinking it's going to work. So you keep thinking that saying, like, don't be afraid, don't be afraid, don't be afraid, is actually going to work. You think that that is in your best interest. You think that shaming yourself or blaming yourself or holding on to guilt or all of it is actually in your best interest, that it will motivate you to finally do something different, or it'll motivate you to stay safe and protect yourself from all the hurt that you've experienced in the past. I was watching like a video about trauma and how to deal with trauma, and again, you can define trauma however you want, but I would say that I guess I'm more interested, I use the word trauma, but I'm more interested in like those events that still haunt you. Those events that still haunt you, that you just can't let go of, that like you don't even know why you continue to think of them. You don't even know why they continue to be present. And I would argue that they continue to be present because you are like projecting them out into the future because you haven't resolved it. Because something happened and you don't know what to make of it. You don't know what to do with this experience that happened to you. And so sometimes, like, it might seem like I don't need to understand it. I don't need to understand why that person did this thing or why this happened to me. Wouldn't it actually like help me if I don't understand it? Isn't like kind of ignorance bliss? But actually, like, not understanding is a very scary place to be, and it means that like you're defenseless to it. If you don't understand something, it means that it could just like happen, and again, you're just like drifting in the wind. You don't know how to control it. You don't know what to do about it. So those things that happened to you in the past, I'm not saying that you're going to come to the right conclusions about it. You kind of need to let go about coming to the right conclusions and just like treat every meaning that you assign to things or every way that you conceive of things as like as a tool to move forward to where you want to go. So is this helpful? Does this give me more power? Does this make me feel safer? Does this make me feel more free? Does this make me feel more like alive, or any of the things? Like, you know what it feels like to be like, you know what it feels like to go up, you know, and you know what it feels like to go down. So always be like grasping, or not grasping, but like always be reaching and finding the thoughts and the belief systems and like the conceptions and the perceptions that are going to leave you with more freedom and more power and more self-expression, right? So the events of your past that are still like have like a chokehold on you, I would say that the reason they have a chokehold is because you don't know what to do with them, and you still feel helpless to them, and they're there to actually make you feel more powerful. I know that sounds weird, but they're there to actually make you like up level and feel even better about life, better about yourself. And it's like, it's not about coming to the right conclusion about it. It's not about like finding the right thing of what that means. It's finding what helps you. So sometimes it is going to be like forgiveness. Like, once you know what to do with that experience, once you know like how to make, it's just like, if this is fuel for your future self, if this is a learning opportunity, however you want to frame it, if this is a lesson, if this is like a chance for you to grow, or a chance for you to stand up for yourself, or a chance for you to define values, or define like what's right and what's wrong, or what you stand for going forward, like whatever it is, but you want to do that. And the reason I was like thinking about that and I want to talk about it is because failures, or like things going wrong in your life, should strengthen you. Actually, you should be better for the experience, not worse. if you think of life as a video game, when you fight, like, when you fight monsters in the dungeon or whatever, that's an opportunity for you to gain experience points, right? But speaking from my own experience and kind of what I see out there in the world too, it seems that people get dragged down by negative experiences. It seems like they lose heart and they get depleted and they lose faith in themselves. They lose belief in themselves and their capabilities and their promise and their potential and their power as bad things trickle in. And again, it's just like what they take, how they conceptualize that, how they store that, what they take it to mean about themselves, how they carry it forward. And if you can look at your life as like a series of like mini monster battles, I don't know, however it works for you, you should get stronger with everyone. You should get like more capable with every fight, with every negative circumstance. It should give you more capacity, not less. There's this, I don't even know what to call it. There's kind of like this model that I really like to think of, which is there's like four stages of learning. Four stages of learning. And one is like unconscious incompetence. The second is, I'm going to get this right, conscious incompetence. Third is conscious competence. And then fourth is unconscious competence. So basically, like, you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know what you're bad at. So that's like why you can look at a figure skater having never gotten on the ice and you can be like, I could probably do that. How hard could that be? And then you get on the ice and you're like, oh no, it's really hard. Oh no. And that jump from like assuming that you're good at something to realizing how lacking you are in that skill, I think can be really jarring. And I think that's like where a lot of people get stuck, is they jump from that, and especially like depending on how they feel about themselves, that feeling of like, I can't do it, I'm not as capable as I thought I was, or like it's embarrassed, like I just embarrassed myself, or I just did something like shameful and everyone saw it, and now like I look bad in everyone's eyes, and I didn't know I was bad. I think can be like really scary for some people, and they want to protect themselves from feeling that. And so it's better to just like not get to that level. So they stay in this place of like unconscious incompetence because it's just, it feels better, it feels safer. And then further, like, you can kind of get stuck, I think, at those like different levels for different reasons, but that's like one that I think about, I think has like affected me a lot, is that jump can feel like so uncomfortable and so disarming, because you're like, oh no, like I'm bad at something, I'm not good, and I don't know how to deal with that, and I thought I was, and I'm supposed to be good, like it's not allowed for me to not be good at this thing. But so you can look at it and look at like the experience of it, and it looks like having gone into this, having failed, having discovered like your weak points, having discovered like what you can't do yet, it feels like you're worse off than you were before. But actually you're so much better. You're so much better. You're actually like way more aware, way more capable of actually doing the thing now that you have a greater concept of what it takes. And that awareness of like where you're lacking, like where the gap is gonna continue. Like that's gonna continue possibly forever. I don't know that there's like any limit to like the heights of what human beings can do. And so the more that you actually become proficient at something, the more you're going to see possibilities for where it can go. And like, and how nuanced and how subtle you can make anything. And I think anyone who has like a skill or like a craft or an ability understands this. Is like, if you draw, you know, the more that you explore drawing or illustration or whatever it is that you do, the more you get interested in just like, what happens if I press down like a little bit more? You get interested in like the different tools or the different strokes or the different styles or the different characters or the different perspectives. Like suddenly there's this whole world of things that you don't know how to do and you don't know how to tackle, but then you know you can go in that direction. But if you like get so defeated by just like not knowing immediately how to do something, you're never going to get to that point. And discovering where something can go, like the awareness of where something can go, should be celebrated as a victory unto itself. And discovering like what you need to step into, like the places that you're lacking, the places that are sore, the places that are rusty, like that should be celebrated. That should make you stronger. You know more about yourself, you know more what's needed. And so all these like failures, instead of like piling in on you and being like resounding evidence for the fact that you can't do it. So all these things that like failed romantic relationships, failed friendships, failed career opportunities, or whatever it is, like all the places that you failed, and they pile in, and it's like, look, we have all this evidence of why you can't do it. I think that actually is how a lot of people operate. And again, it's why like it's still very present in their life, because they haven't like it's this thing that actually you're meant to like process and digest and grow from. But instead you're letting it define you. You're letting it define you as opposed to defining it. These things like that are just present and there, they're like asking you to make meaning of it, for you to make powerful meaning of it, as opposed to letting it make meaning of you. And a lot of people are like letting events and circumstances and failures like make meaning of them. So the minute that you like can take all these failures and go like, you know what, the fact that that happened means it will never happen the same way again. It's not the other way around. It's not like a lot of people go, that happened, therefore that is destined to happen in the future. No. Now you kind of know what happens when you go into that particular battle, or like when that comes up, and you're going to try something different. You're going to try something different next time, and maybe you'll fail again, and then you'll try something different. And this sounds like very basic, but it sounds very like Edison, like inventing a light bulb. And I don't want to say that it takes 1,000 tries. I don't want to say that. But like the most important thing is how you actually conceptualize failure and what you make it to mean about yourself. Every time you fail, like it could almost, and fail, whatever, it could almost, if you can turn it on its head and be excited by it, it no longer has power over you, and you can go in search of. And suddenly all that energy that you've been expending trying to protect yourself from failure, right? All this energy that you've been like in your own best interest trying to like guard against, suddenly you have all these available resources to take you somewhere else. Because literally like by redefining failure, now it's no longer something threatening. You determine what's threatening. You just don't realize that like you have that power. You get to determine what is actually threatening, and you get to determine like how you face off against threat. And I'm not saying that like you're always going to know what's best and it's always, but like every time you get a little bit more agency, you get a little bit more power, you get a little bit more understanding, you get a little bit more self-compassion, you get a little bit more, it builds. You don't have to jump from 0 to 100, but you should have faith and like excitement about like your capacity to go in the direction that you want to go. That when things come up, it doesn't mean that like you're stuck or you're stalled. It means like, okay, there's like another opportunity to get more free. There's another opportunity to get more powerful. There's another opportunity for me to learn something that I didn't even know I needed to learn. Like that's actually where your life can really change. It's not like the things that you know. It's not the things that you know how to do and the things that like you understand. The way that your life can really change is actually in all the places that you don't see, in all like the ways that you don't know how to think. And so when a problem comes up, it's like maybe this problem is just coming up because like I literally have not thought of a solution yet that would dissolve this. And so it coming up is like, hey, we might actually have this like superpower that we didn't even know about. And you wouldn't know that unless there was something coming up. I kind of like to think of it like a sore spot, like a sore spot on your body. I went to the spa the other day and like my friend was like massaging my feet and and whatever, she found like a bunch of pressure points and I was like, oh, I didn't even know that was there. Like and I've been like carrying all this like embedded kind of like soreness and pain and what is possible for me if I like let that go, but I wouldn't know about that unless like someone was like, hey, guess what? That's a sore spot for you. That's a sore spot. So the pointing of it out isn't like shameful, isn't like a failure on your part, like, oh, you shouldn't have sore spots. It's like, hey, here's an opportunity for you to let something go. And everyone has them, by the way. Like, don't think that no one's perfect and you don't need to be perfect. Like, perfect isn't actually, I would say that the expectation for yourself to be perfect comes from a place of like, again, wanting safety, wanting comfort, wanting like to relax, wanting to just like have people treat you well or just be loved or whatever it is, like a kind of peace. And you think being perfect will give you that because you think that it's your imperfections that threaten it, that get in the way. Do you know what I mean? So like the reason that most brains are like designed to look at the mistakes. I play a piece of piano, I play a piece like of music, and most people will pay attention, like as they're playing, will pay attention to like, what are the notes I got wrong? And we're constantly scanning for like, what's wrong? And again, if you come from a place of like, everything I'm doing is trying to keep me safe. I'm on my side. So how am I actually being on my, like, why am I doing this? Why does this benefit me to constantly be scanning for mistakes or flaws or imperfections? And the reason is like, because we think that like, if they're not there, then we're safe. That like their presence is threatening. And what we're missing in all of that is that there's like, for every one note you got wrong, you played 100 perfectly. You played 100 perfectly. You didn't notice them because you didn't need to notice them according to your own rules. Like, it didn't seem beneficial to your brain to scan for the correct notes. You haven't programmed it to see benefit for that. But actually there's huge benefit for that, for actually recognizing everything that you're doing right and building that. And so everything that you're doing right, in contrast to like, okay, we have these mistakes. First of all, are they actually mistakes? Like, and how can I work with them? Can I get like interested? Like, it's not so much about like embracing the mistakes, embracing the flaws. And definitely it's not about forcing yourself to embrace the flaws. I don't think you should ever do that. But it's about recognizing that they're not threatening, they're not harmful. You can learn to play the piece perfectly. You can. But as long as you're like terrified to play a wrong note, chances are you're not going to, because like you're just bound up. Your attention is like narrow and focused and scared and stiff, and you're not at your best when you're doing that. Doing anything creative or doing anything at all from that place of like, I'm gonna mess up, I can't do this. You're bound, you're tight. So you can, yeah. So I guess like is that like everything I want to impart today? Last night I was just thinking, it's so cliche, but as much as I'm like, use tools, use like concepts and conceptualization to empower you and to move forward. Annoyingly, the paradox also is like, they're just thoughts. They're just ideas. Like, they're not true until you make them true. And so, like, it's so cliche, but I'm just gonna say it's so like the thought, I can't do this. It's really just the thought, as is the thought, I can do this. But if you just look at it like, cool, we have 2 cars. I want to drive to Alaska, and I have 2 cars, and I have 1 car that says I can drive there, and the other car is like, we're never getting there. Which car do you want to get into? I don't know if I can get to Alaska. I won't know until I'm there, really. But which car are you going to get into? And if you choose the car that says like you can't get there, I'm going to bet that you, like, again, even if you're like, I want to get there, there's some part you don't want to get there. And you need to reckon with that part of yourself first. You don't want to, you think there is something bad waiting for you in Alaska. You think something bad is going to happen in Alaska. And until you like reckon with that and sit with that and like really just like get on board, like everyone needs to get on board. It's like 12 angry men inside. And if you can get everyone on the same side, then you can do it. Then you can go places. But this constantly like fighting with yourself, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. It's better to be like with yourself in a state of, in like, I would actually agree with this. It's like better to like fully be integrated in yourself in like a state of defeat or like despair. But at least you're like, I'm with you. I'm on your side. I'm okay with you. Like, you know, when you're depressed, like you don't want anyone ever being like, come on, let's go. Like, sometimes you want that, but a lot of the times you just want someone to be like, okay, that's all right. And to give you permission. And then like when you're actually given allowance to just being where you're at and you're like, you're just like safe to be there, then you can actually move on and process it. So, so yeah. The thing is, there's like unlimited, it never really, I don't know that there's a bottom to it. Like you have so many beliefs, you have so many thoughts, you have so many conceptions about the world and about yourself. And I don't know that you need to uncover everyone, and I don't know that you need to overcome everyone. But if you look at it with more curiosity and compassion of like, why do I even think this in the first place? Like, how is this serving me? What do I want to hear right now? What do I want someone to tell me right now? What do I need right now? And just constantly being with yourself where you're at and just inching forward towards a future that actually excites and inspires you, like, your life will go well. I think your life will go amazingly well, and I do think it's that simple. And I can't promise that like you're gonna get to where you want to go, but I think if you don't get there, it's because like something else becomes more exciting along the way. And just like, yeah, I titled this like you already believe in yourself because I really want to get it into your head that like you do believe in yourself. You really have like ultimate faith in yourself. You already are on your own side. You're like, you're a great friend to yourself in the way that you think a friend should be. You do believe in yourself, and you don't really have any other option. Like, you can believe in yourself, or you can believe in like that you're always going to screw something up, and you can believe that. And if you believe that, like, you know, you're doing that for a specific reason, but you don't, like, you're kind of stuck with one or the other. So which do you actually want to choose? And you are choosing. You're choosing every minute. Which do you actually want to choose? That, like, you can do the thing? Which car do you want to get into? And be honest with yourself and be patient with yourself. And just keep going. Believe in yourself. I don't know if you're joking with me. I'm sorry if that comes across really schmaltzy. I just think it's true. And I just think, like, stand up for yourself too. This is something that I stand up for yourself internally, you know? Fight for yourself. Advocate for yourself internally. And like when you go out into the world. Because what's your other option? What else are you gonna do? You're either gonna like apologize for your existence and try not to screw things up, or you're going to stand for yourself and take up space and say, I deserve to be here and I can do good in the world, or I can do what I want to do, and I'm allowed to have it and I'm allowed to do it, and I don't want to hurt anyone along the way. But like holding yourself back might be damaging too. You would rather live in the woods by yourself. Okay. I get that. I get that. Sometimes like I felt really guilty for like not liking the company of other people. And I don't think like one needs to like the company of other people. You know what I mean? But I think it's interesting to examine like where that comes from, like what's actually behind there. Because if you were actually like completely free and like completely like okay and powerful and like I don't know, you just like, you wouldn't really feel anything about it. So I'm not saying that's you, Justin, but like, is it coming from a place of like other people are scary, or other people can hurt me, or other people like blah, 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 like what is it? Or is it just like, I just prefer this? Eccentric hat. Oh wait, think I did get your email. Sorry if I didn't respond. I'll be honest, I'm not great about responding to emails, but I'll get to it. Without comparison. Captain P.O.B. Absolutely. I agree with you, and I also agree in steps. Yeah, because I just think sometimes we have expectations of like needing to be like enlightened immediately. And so I've been very against comparison, and also like everyone's always like, don't compare, don't compare. But if I think about like the moments in my life when I felt like I was really thriving, I probably felt that way because I was comparing it to a past self that hadn't been thriving. So it felt like, oh, I've landed somewhere good in comparison to what was before. And if I was someone else with a different before, I might actually feel like I was failing. And all that to say that like it is very much what you position yourself against. And it can like free you. Like you can kind of use that like rocket fuel, like a jetpack to like free you to get more clarity, to get like higher like when you feel better, you just like you have more awareness, you have more consciousness, and from there you might start to see like all the places you've been comparing yourself and all the places you've been like constricted. But I am, I think, a believer in like using everything to your own good. Okay. Thermodynamics, that sounds really interesting. Yeah, I agree with you. Captain POB, I guess, and I'm just curious, like, so what do you do with that? Like, what do you personally do with that? Because I think like you can have that like, oh, I'm so limited, like I can't really know what's going on. Like it's not in like human capacity to really like understand what's going on, or like I'm biased towards like dualism like makes me biased inherently. And that might be true, but like where does that leave me within all of that? You know what I mean? Like we're human beings having a human experience, so what are we supposed to, like it might be true, but what are we supposed to do with that? Like we have to live day-to-day lives. Hi, that's Reed. Thank you. Thanks, Mars. I think like still play the game, you know? Still play the game, because why not? That's why are we here? Innocence and humility are the sources of happiness. It's the afternoon. Understanding the meaning. I feel like we should just get into like a one-on-one conversation. Can you meet me? I don't know. Maybe. If I could play my favorite movie character, that's so weird. But my favorite movie characters are like, part of the reason I love them is how they were portrayed. I don't know. I don't know. favorite movie character, probably, I don't know that I couldn't play her. I want to play characters that are like like badass heroines. And then in life, I'm like, hi. I'm like a bunny. And I'm really trying to not be that anymore. This is something too of like, sometimes you're like, you actually succeeded at a goal you forgot you set for yourself. And now you're like, why am I here? And it's like, because you wanted this. You just forgot that, like, you forgot to like reevaluate your values. So at one point, I remember being like really interested in just like socialize. Like I just wanted to get better social skills and I wanted to feel more comfortable with people. So I was watching a lot of videos on like charisma. There was a channel like Charisma on Command, and I was so into it. And I remember there was this one video about Ellen DeGeneres. Whatever you think about her, I wasn't like searching up Ellen DeGeneres, whatever, but it was saying that why she is funny is because she's not trying to make people laugh, she's trying to make herself laugh. And I was like, oh, okay, I can do that. And I fully embraced that, and it just like developed. And now I feel like I am this personality that is just like constantly like and I don't always like it because I don't feel the need to like be that person anymore. Sometimes I just wish I could be like serious. I could just be serious and stoic, and to answer your question, the character that I thought of that I'm like, I cannot, but like Katniss Everdeen, I think is like one of the greatest characters in movie history. I think that. You don't like me? Okay. Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. So that's just it. Sometimes things are just like giving clarity for what you actually want. But you might not know that if you didn't like go in that direction. Why don't you like me? I like your emojis. Hi, it goes. Okay, I'm gonna go pretty soon. I really like the sweater that I'm wearing today. Okay. Okay. I don't know why. You have a butterfly. I don't care that you don't like me. Because you have a butterfly, and like a while back I decided that butterflies were like, whatever. It's fun to play little games with the universe and be like, butterflies mean like I'm on the right path. I have that for butterflies and I have that for ladybugs. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna say that. I'm sure you're a very nice guy. Hi, Tamello. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. So I decided, like, I used to never like butterflies, and now I'm like, butterfly. Butterfly in the sky. And this summer, and I was like, oh, it's so fun when you manifest something that you don't really care about. Because I remember I was like, it's been a really long time since I've seen a monarch butterfly. And yeah, and then this summer I was like at a pool, and the biggest, most beautiful monarch butterfly showed up out of nowhere. Wait, really? That's so funny. Salin? Your cousin. Your cousin. My cousin would never do that. That's okay, Mars. I'm glad you were here for a little bit. No, don't worry about it. Go beat up your cousin. A Luna moth. I don't know what that is. I'm not answering that. I've never done a steamy scene. I really want to. I will do it. I will do a steamy scene soon. Okay, I'm gonna go. Yes, eccentric hat. I will respond to your email. I will do that. Okay, I love you guys so, so, so much, and I hope you have a beautiful October day. If you're like doing Halloween, I hope you have an amazing costume. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next live. Okay, I love you.